Welcome back. We've just talked about the promoters and the directors. It's now time to talk about our supporters and our clarifiers. Let's jump into the deep characteristics of each of these behavior styles. So let's start with our supporters, our labs, our dogs. These are the amiables of the world. These are the steady, stable, and predictable kind of characteristics. These are those who are even-tempered, friendly, sympathetic to others, very generous with their loved ones. Supporters are very understanding, they listen well, they prefer to have close personal relationships. My supporters are very open with their loved ones. Also, sometimes a little bit more possessive to some of those relationships and hold them close. Let's go in buying a home, a large purchase. Supporters are going to look at the kitchen, the living space, the bedrooms, the bathrooms. Is it comfortable? Are the schools close by? Are there parks nearby? Is it going to be something that everyone can enjoy? For heaven forbid, if we made a decision and purchased a home that somebody didn't like or was uncomfortable in some way. What are the possible weaknesses of the supporter behavior style? Now, because the supporter style is more passive and avoids conflict, they may hold on to grudges when they experience any frustration or resentment, instead of facing that issue head on. Now, they strive for positive environments and relationships and can be sensitive when it comes to criticism. They want to please others, so therefore they have a difficulty saying no or establishing any kind of boundaries or priorities. This is where they can come across as doormats. So once again, if you have the supporter behavior style in you, this may ring true for you. Now, moving from our supporters, we're going to go into our clarifiers. These are my formal flows with, our owls now. They're very accurate, they're precise, they're detail-oriented, very conscientious. They think very analytically, systematically. They make decisions carefully, with plenty of research and information to back it up. Now, the clarifiers have very high standards, both for themselves and for others. They focus on those details and see what others may not see. So therefore, they tend to be really good problem solvers, or they tend to see some possible challenges that are on a given path. In purchasing a home, this behavior style will typically look at price per square foot. They'll want to know how far it is from their work to the mileage, how long it will take them in all times of day. They're going to look at the resale value. They're going to want to look at the history of the home. Different than the other behavior styles. Not only price, we're going to talk about what is our investment, how good and how important and more smart is the decision. Now, what are the possible weaknesses of the clarifier? The clarifier is, again, more passive, so they actually want to avoid conflict. They will avoid conflict rather than argue. It's difficult for them to get into discussions where they have to verbalize some of their emotion or their feeling. They much rather talk about the process or the logic. They need more clear-cut boundaries in order for them to feel comfortable at work, in relationships, in order for them to take action. They like the predictability. Sometimes that clarifier can be bound by procedure or methods and find it very difficult to stray outside the lines. Sometimes they can get really bogged down in the small details, into the minutia, making it very difficult for them to see the next step or even the big picture. Now let's take a look again, clarifiers and our supporters. If these are attributes that you have within yourself, then make note of them. One of them may be most authentic to you most of the time. This is now more the flows with side of the quadrants, both informal with my supporters and formal with my clarifiers. Now, in the coming moments, coming day, I want you to recognize these traits in yourself as well as the traits that you find in the people closest to you. In the next video, we're going to talk about how can we spend more time in our strengths in these 4 quadrants rather than our weaknesses. How do we recharge? I'll see you in the next video.